Age restricted. Well done, everyone. We did it.
Oh my god! Oh jeez! Oh my god!
I have never once played through an entire GTA game or attempted to go for the Platinum Trophy. So today I decided to start with the oldest GTA game available to play, GTA 3. And yes, I did it on the definitive edition, and Lord have mercy, do I want my money back. The GTA 3 Platinum Trophy only has 29 trophies included, and nearly all of them are from the story and side quest related tasks. In fact, I'm pretty sure almost literally every single one of them is just story related. But in all honesty, the game barely even has a story to begin with, since it only lasts like 8 hours total. I could honestly stare at a wall for 8 hours and probably come up with more interesting things than this game's story did. Also, I am not giving it any slack for being an old game, since they re-released it at full price.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
The game opens up with a bank robbery, and as you run away with your boy and all the money, some girl who looks like an advanced Roblox character just drops you in the alley. And we even get to be on the newspaper, so honestly, this is a W in my opinion. That's a life milestone. A minute and 45 seconds later, some dudes in a gang roll up and free us all out of the police transport, because that's just normal in Liberty City, I assume. You then get to actually play the game now that you're out of jail, which is awesome because they already stole $50 from me, so at least a tad bit of gameplay is added in with it. Anyways, you just drive to your crappy safe house where you and homeboy do some prison shower activities, while it tells you what the thing is used for. We then go and do our first mission for Luigi, who is the initial mission giver in the game. And he is a very God-fearing man, so we went and picked up his girl named Misty. And for some reason, I don't believe her name is actually Misty, because that sounds like something I would name a water Pokemon. But anyways, we finished the mission and got our very first trophy for the day. This game's trophy list is very confusing if you have never played the game before. This is because there is so many missable trophies and it's kind of stupid in my opinion. Also, the saving system is very weird compared to new games nowadays, and there's very few guides on the game because not many people care for the definitive edition of GTA's trilogy, since it is quite literally comparable to dog crap. Anyways, I read that you should try to do as many trophies and missions as possible before furthering the story, so I decided to steal some Stereotypes taxi and just drive it around until I got 100 taxi fares. The taxi in this game can be activated by obviously stealing it, and then you just press the up arrow on the D-pad. It isn't honestly that hard when comparing it to the other vehicle missions in the future, but it does take absolutely forever, and I felt like such an idiot doing this right away because I spent an hour and a half straight doing this. It also allowed me to see how dumb and bad the driving is in this game, which will definitely become a problem later on in the grind of this game's trophies. So as I said, you have to get 100 fares, and I got it after what felt like forever. Since I was extremely bored of this game already, which isn't a good sign since I've only been here for like 2 hours, I said, you know what? I have no clue what I'm doing, so I'll just go play some main story missions and hope something shows up on the map for me to do aside from that. So I did the next main story mission, and I gotta say, Rockstar back in the day were absolutely ruthless with the things in their games. And most woke people nowadays would probably cry and poop their pants after playing more than 20 minutes of this game. But the next mission I did had us take a baseball bat to some guy and just smack him right in the head, giving him major trauma. And we then stole his car to get it resprayed and returned it to our own garage for whatever reason I'm not quite sure because I never saw it again after. I then realized I should probably buy a gun because it is GTA and I felt kind of bare with nothing but my meat beaters and a bat. But thanks to this game being so old, you can't even buy guns yet in the game and have to wait until the story goes further on. This really just confused me because they show it on the map, but you can't even do anything with it, so why even put it on the map to begin with?
That's what I'm saying.
Anyways, I did another mission and it had us drive around Misty again, who is seemingly the only character in the game as far as I know. We took her all the way across town to Joey's, which is the mechanic in this game and also gives us a few missions in the story. Another side objective within the game is to do all the rampages on each island. These are scattered around randomly in many spots throughout the map, which don't actually appear on the map, you have to just find them. They include you getting a time limit to kill a certain number of gang members or destroy a certain amount of things. The first one I did had me take out 30 Diablos in 120 seconds, and it really opened my gaping butt to the reality of just how bad this game's combat system actually is. The aiming in it is complete trash, and yes, I understand it's an old game, but I'm not giving it that excuse because it cost me $50 to play in 2023. In fact, I would rather spend that $50 on the Peppa Pig DLC than play this game. Anyways, I failed this first try because I couldn't find anyone to save my life, and then I also got a 3x Wanna level on my ass and the cops dropped me like I was ethnic background. So I tried again and I failed and failed. And when all hope seemed lost for my soul, I actually did it. Just kidding, I missed one kill. At this point though, I actually knew what to do, so on the next one I got it, and then I moved on to the other rampages around the city. The best way to beat all of these is to just find out how the enemies spawn in, because they basically just teleport into existence wherever you aren't looking in that direction. So basically you just need to constantly spin around and stare in the distance until they just spawn in. I went out and completed all of the rampages and it wasn't too bad, but then I got a trophy while it's doing them for getting lots of kills, I'm assuming. And after doing the last rampage, which involved me completely blowing up the city and causing mass terror among the citizens, I then attempted to do the Playing Doctor trophy, which is one of the hardest in the game. You need to get to level 12 of the ambulance missions. Each level of these gets progressively harder, and the main challenge of this is the fact that the ambulance in the game, for whatever reason, has the strength of a tiny Vietnamese man, because the thing will just blow up if you have one good crash. In fact, I nearly just quit right here because I simply couldn't be bothered by this dumb game's car system, since it's complete trash. Doing this took me around 4 hours to do, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I definitely went insane. In fact, it took everything in me not to just destroy my controller at 1 AM. But I was reminded of that drive to Best Buy and realized it wasn't worth it. This game will not get any more money out of me. The only thing worse than having the ambulance blow up like the Middle East is when the dumb patient who is supposedly hurt just runs out in front of you and gets run over, which also ends the mission. But like all things, I eventually did it and didn't even feel happy, just dead inside because that sucked balls. And since we were already on the vehicle missions, I then decided to do the firefighter trophy next. You need to get 15 fires put out in a row. This time it was actually somewhat easy. The fire truck can basically not brake since it's giant and apparently has a lot more health than the ambulance. But this is definitely needed since it's nearly impossible to drive it down the street without crashing it into something. The only challenge for this trophy is making it to the fires in time, but if you do that 15 times in a row, you get the Splish Splash trophy. Also, you need to put out 20 fires on each island for 100% completion later on anyways, so this trophy helps you get progress towards that also. I didn't know how to do the police missions quite yet, so I decided instead to just do the main story yet again. The next mission actually let me use guns for the first time, and I wasn't paying attention when it said go to ammunition, so instead my method of getting a gun was by punching a police officer until he dropped one. A truly American way indeed. But I did get a pistol and then took out this dude in an all-purple suit, which is a heinous fashion choice for any occasion. The next mission, called Fuzzball, had a trophy-specific task on it. You need to pick up every single girl available on the map. I didn't realize this was needed while doing it, but I actually nearly got it because I assumed you had to do it anyway. And I literally had all of them in my car heading towards the place, but ran out of time when I was across the street, which is honestly devastating to my soul and livelihood. I'm probably gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. And on the next mission, Mike Lip's last lunch also had a missable trophy. You need to deliver his car without getting a scratch on it on the first try. And I yet again didn't know this was a thing because I'm mentally ill, but seriously, look at what scratched it on my first try. The car's turn radius was so bad, I couldn't get it perfectly into the spot I needed to, and I dinked it on the wall next to the place I was supposed to go. But I guess that scratch didn't even matter because the entire car got blown up anyway. I feel like Sisyphus right now. And again on the next mission, we had another mission-related trophy. For whatever reason, the GTA 3 trophy list picked 4 random missions back to back to have mission trophies. And then not a single other one throughout the entire story. So I don't really get why they did that, but it's whatever because this game sucks. I'm also not sure how you would even do this trophy, but you're supposed to kill the dude that you're supposed to kill, obviously, with a car bomb. I don't even know how you do that, but apparently it's possible. Later on in the story, I had another mission and needed to drive this car to the scrapyard to get rid of it, and nearly flipped upside down and blew it up while I was doing so. Conveniently enough, since GTA 3 is a very old game, if your car flips, it's just done for. You can't do anything about it. It just blows up. After I got out of the car like it said, I was also being hunted by the literal Men in Black and nearly died while waiting for the dumb objective to end. But once it did, I finally got another story trophy. On a different mission, I had this great idea when being chased ruthlessly by cops to get a new paint job and escape them. So I did that and then backed up out of the place and instantly ran into a cop and got busted. I hate this game. And finally, I reached the last missable trophy mission called Triads and Tribulations. It's quite simple. All you need to do is keep the 2 Mafia members alive during it. Sadly, I ran them over immediately and didn't get the trophy. I hate this game. So I stopped with the main story for a little bit and then did some payphone missions instead, which are just side quests you get at the payphone. Yes, it's literally a payphone. And the first one was to win a race. And after I found a fast car, which I totally stole, I won. And actually won by so much they gave me a trophy for destroying those dumb AI. I then ended up finishing off the story for Liberty Island, which I can't even tell you what happened because I didn't care for it at all since I hated this game by this point. And to make my suffering even worse, I then decided to try and do the Police Vigilante Trophy. You need to stop 15 enemies in a row without failing. I don't even know how to describe this mission, but it is simply the worst thing I have ever tried to do while I was playing video games. Everything about this mission just sucks. The enemies have cars that are apparently the fastest thing in the world, and to make it better, sometimes they don't even get destroyed no matter how much effort you give. And the police car you get to drive to do this is yet again as weak as a Vietnamese child because it breaks frequently, blows up all the time, and just flips over, ending the mission essentially. Also, why the hell do the police chase after you when you're in a cop car trying to stop literal criminals? Everything about this game, I just hate.
Know your